And welcome back to another edition of Survive to Thrive. Again, I'm Dr. Todd Wendell, bringing you daily tips and tricks for you to anchor onto, utilize, and thrive. And I'm wearing my cool Roka sunglasses. No, they're not sunglasses. They're actually blue blockers. They actually block blue lights from the computer screens that we stare in front of, stare at on a daily basis. I introduced these the other day, so if you're listening to the podcast, just listening and not looking at our YouTube channel, that's what's going on. You might have to go to YouTube to see. I also think they make me look like a doctor. What do you think? I don't know. Maybe it just helps. Now people will listen to me. All right. Now, as I'm doing this podcast, I'm really enjoying these glasses. There's a lot of debate on whether it is or it isn't, but I don't really care because my eye strain is actually a lot better. Between doing podcasts and, we're online for our software at work and all those types of things. So very nice. Check it out. I mean, it's worth an investment in your eyes. It's worth an investment. They talk about being able to sleep a little bit better. And to be able to protect those brain waves and things like that. So worth a shot to me. Anyways, that's not why we're here, but we're here to talk about expansion today. And the concept in expansion, if you will, is that expansion is all over the place. It isn't what a lot of people think about. A lot of people want to be just okay at a certain level. However, that's not the way your body works. Expansion is one of these things that you're constantly doing. If we go down to a cellular level, your body is constantly adapting and changing and expanding to be able to take on what you do on a daily basis. Think about a workout. Your body is constantly expanding to be able to take the weight, take the stress that you're putting on it. Okay? And so expansion is one of these things that I've always looked at as about me. Meaning, what can I do to expand more? What can I do to expand my brain, my heart, my soul, my body, all these things to become a better person, to be able to be a better doctor, to be able to, I just never stop on these things because I always want to constantly figure out a different way of doing things better. And so expansion is one of these things that's, it's just in me. It's not something that I try to do. It's just something that is constantly in me. So I'm constantly pushing limits on different areas of like, hey, we can bring this. That's why I introduced the glasses, because if that helps me gain a little bit of an edge, a little bit more sleep, then happy day. I'm willing to invest in that. And I think it's pretty cool technology, pretty cool studies as you read some of this stuff. But the concept for you today is looking in your world. Are you selfish with expansion? I'm raising my hand for you, those who can't see me. I'm raising my hand because I was one of these people until just recently looking at it. Expansion is part of me. I mean, it's just what I do. It's kind of like a self thing. It's not something that you go around and talk to everybody about your workouts. Maybe some of you guys do. But it is this thing that tends to be kind of a personal development. And when we look online or you're looking to improve, it's all about self. And part of the realization is that once you get to a point that you're constantly in this mode and constantly doing expansion for your body, for your soul, for your relationships, for your business, those of you that own businesses or at your workplace constantly trying to get better, you realize that there's a certain capacity that your body can do. Meaning that, like, say if you are at this elite level, which I'm not, but doing triathlons, that is kind of the height, but people always push it. So there's other expansion, right? People that ran a marathon, it's like, wow, person that ran a sub 4-minute mile never could be done before, but now, like, it's done all the time. The marathoners that take it to that next level and do 50 miles, 100 miles, now a couple 100 miles. And so expansion is just all over the place. My purpose for today, though, and the tip and the trick to move you from just that survival mode and understanding expansion is that there's another level of expansion. I look as a business owner, I look as a father, as a leader of our staff and other people, that sometimes we get to a point that the only way that we can expand is to help other people expand. Interesting, isn't it? Now you may be like, I don't own my own business. I have a job. I just kind of work, and all these types of things. But there's people around you that you can teach to expand as well. And believe it or not, this is a next level for you to be able to expand. When you actually start to share and start to lead other people into expansion, well, I don't care if it's their body. You teach somebody how to exercise. I do this with our kids. We start to instill that, but automatically we get this feedback. You will get this feedback and start to expand yourself, meaning that you expand in your capacity to actually learn others, to teach others. They often say one of the best ways to know something is to be able to teach it. You start teaching it, you know it at a higher level than you could ever have imagined. And so this is where I find myself when I'm looking at expansion, is being able to bring other people in and help them get what they want, literally help them expand, and showing people, okay, this is what I've done, take it and expand upon it. I've done that with other people's stuff. It's just like, hey, you can learn from me and get this. I'm like, I like that, but I'm going to add this to it. And in the resultant, that person that I've taken this stuff from will ultimately level up with me because they're like, well, that was good. I didn't see it from that standpoint. And so the concept today is asking yourself the question of, okay, I've been expanding in these elements, but how can I help somebody else expand so I can expand even more? Meaning that you are going to hit some thresholds of expansion. And that threshold of expansion is kind of like a capacity. Now, your capacity today will be definitely different than your capacity in the future, just because we're constantly evolving. But this concept to extend yourself, and be able to do more by helping other people do more. Let me give you an example. This podcast that you are listening to, this podcast that you're looking at on YouTube, is 100% produced now by my 12, soon to be 13-year-old son, Kellen. And I looked at this and I said, look, I'm running out of time to be able to do this stuff because I got enough going on. And the only way that I could keep this going and expand on this was to take some time and show him. And by him doing this and listening to these podcasts, he's getting a ton out of this. He's learning how to actually utilize technology, no doubt better than myself. And he's already putting some frills on stuff. I'm like, hey, that's cool. But see, he starts to expand in his capacity. I start to expand in my capacity because I get to talk, I get to get that voice out. But then I leave it and he actually helps me expand that. And so my expansion happens through his expansion. Are you seeing this? So the question for you is, where in your world do you need to let go of things so that you can expand? Where do you need to let go of certain things that were personal, that you thought were only for you, so that you can expand? Is it in your body? Is it in your connections with God, your spirituality that you need to expand? Is it in your relationships with loved ones, like I did with Kellen? Oh my God, I didn't even think this was possible in the expansion, but he's got purpose, he's leveling up, and that expands me to be able to actually do more and expand more as well. Is it in your workplace? Is it in your business? If you're a business owner, this is huge. And this is not taken away from anybody that doesn't own a business, but this is huge for a business owner. Especially a business owner like myself, where I have a practice that's dependent upon me. Expansion is one of these things that if you can figure out a way to do that, oh, it is so beautiful. It's one of the healthiest things that you can do. So the question back to you, where in your world do you need to expand by helping others expand? That's it. It's just a simple shift in actually getting out of self and allowing others to expand for you and with you and help them level up their game. That's all I got for you today. Come in every single day with a tip and trick to move you out of retraction to expansion, out of just surviving into thriving. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.